I'm back at Patches. I'm back at the firewall. This is part 2 of the firewall section of the truck. What I'm going at today is I'm going to take this beaded rusty piece of metal and make it look like this. Stay tuned. Welcome back. More work on the firewall today. Going to work on getting the holes filled in the firewall and patches and run some beads, I'd say. And first things first, I want to get it all mounted in place so I know that I can take it on, take it off again. It'll always go back to the same position again. So I'm going to make up some brackets and drill some holes and put some clecos in places. So stay tuned. Alright, so that's all done. All I did is I bent up 2 pieces of steel on the inner side there, put a couple of bends on it just to give it strength so it don't want to rock this way. And then I welded it on here and I welded it on the sides here to keep it from rocking this way. And then clinkoed it on the front here, and then went down here and drilled 4 locations and clinkoed them on. As you can see, that's solid. That's permanently part of that car now. So now I got reference points that I can go back and put the panel back on and adjust it as I'm going. So now the first thing I'm going to do is in here, I'm going to take a marker now and scribe the transmission tunnel itself and come out here then and cut off the excess out here so I can figure out where these beads are going to go. I know these 3 here are going. They're going to end somehow, and I'm going to make this one over here and put a panel in here, of course, plug all these holes. I'm not concerned right now using the holes for anything else. I'm going to weld them all up and I'll just drill holes as I need them, because I got steering column over here as well, but I think I'm just going to weld all this up as well and make it solid, and then I'll just put in the hole where I want it to. Now let me show you what I got done so far. I welded up a few holes that were around here and there, grinding them up. Right? The tags were here. I'm going to move them because I think they're going to be behind the motor. This piece over here, I need to do a lot of work on it. I went and cut that out. That much of it out, so then I got this for a template. If you hold it up to the light, you can see how bad it is. It's a rough piece, so I'm going to have to duplicate that. Now, these pieces here, I'm going to flush mount these. Now these round holes here, I was going to make up pieces and weld them in, or I was going to cut a piece out and weld them up and whatnot. The more I thought about it, I realized something. Over here, we have a factory style plug thing. Now, I think it'll look a lot cooler. I love mechanical stuff. I like looking at stuff. I was never into the smooth firewall. That's why I'm putting beads and everything in this, because the easiest fix is this, is just cut this all out and put a flat firewall in it. I don't like that look, right? To me, I love all these beads, and when you look in, it looks like an original type piece. So what I'm going to do here is a little bit different. I made this piece up here, that's the hole, and there are the 3 corner holes there. I'm going to trim this out like this, and that's going to go on the back side of that, and I'll plug weld these 3 holes. Leave this hole alone. I won't do a thing with it. So when it's all dressed and cleaned up, all it looked like is a plug that's put in there. I'll do the same for these. I had these little things cut out to go on the back side of them. See, they're bigger than the hole, right? So they'll go on the back side, and it'll just look like a plug, like similar to this original one here. And that's my plan with that. So I got this here. All I did is I put it in behind it, and I marked it out. Then I went over to this little doodad here. This is the cat's meow. I'm going to set it up now and show you how to use this. It's a little tool I bought down to Princess Auto, which is the Canadian version of Harbor Freight, and it's very excellent for cutting round objects out like this here. I'm going to show you this now. It's a very simple little tool. It's just two wheels. One has got a cutting edge and one has just got like teeth on it, and on the back side of it here is a steel lever that just goes up, and you can go forward or backwards by just flipping this over. And it's got little teeth on the back side for that to grab into, to turn like that. Now this is how easy it is. Huh? And I'm amazed at how thin you can actually cut a piece. Like, you know, I can cut this sliver of this. Just look at this. I'll turn this around now and put this over. Look how thin I can cut that off. And it's, you can't do that usually with a pair of tin snips. I picked this up a few years ago and I thought it was the real cat's meow for doing this type of stuff. Trying to hold that in your hand now, trying to do that with a pair of tin snips. It's much the same as a bevel shear, but the little wheel helps you rotate it through it. And there you have it. And there you go. It looks like a factory piece now. That was what you would call coil delete, because that's what was there, was the coil, right? But yeah, it's a lot faster, and you keep hearing me saying that. I always enjoy trying to find fast way of doing things. But the nicest thing about doing it this way, I'll show you now. When you flip it over, it just so happens to say now if I want to use this hole or use this hole, all I can do is break these 4 tabs and I can use the hole again. Then you'll see the way that one there is mounted. Just 3 little spot welds. I'm going to go on now and do these ones next. All I'm going to do them is the old famous overlap cut out and butt in place. I got one there and one there to do. So I'm going to set up for them now. Well, I went ahead, got that one all welded in, trimmed up, dressed up and everything. I think you've seen enough of that. I've also marked now all these here got to be shortened here. I'm going to eliminate this one altogether, and I'm going to shorten that one here, but I'm going to do all that later. I'm going to move on to this piece now. So as you can tell, this is what I'm up against. I got a bead going up here and one going across here. And I got to duplicate that somehow. So I was playing around here. This is what I come up with. Come up with this here. Right? That there will line up like so. See? And all I did with that is I made that on the brake. So if you look at the contour, the shape of it, and then I'll put that one above it. Pretty well close. Got to be tapped down and rolled a bit. But no. So I'm going to cut out a piece now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this piece here into one section. And I'm going to roll this section here. And this one here is a bit tricky. So I'm probably going to take this piece I got here now and play with that and make that piece turn up. So this is going to be done in 3 sections to make that piece. It's putting up a fight, but I'm getting there. As you can see, I got this panel made, I got this little panel made, and I have this little panel made. I'm going to put it in 3 sections now. I got to figure it out, but I'm going to make it all one panel before I put it in. This was tricky. I had to try to duplicate these corners here, right, the way they meet. So I played around with it and did some thinking about it, and came back and started pounding on it and playing around with it, and all I used is a little homemade T-dolly and this piece of I-beam I got with my hammer. That's all I used to make that piece there. I ended up putting it on the corner here and then flattening it out there, rolling the corners, and then rounding it out on the T-dolly, which is basically that there, right? But what I'm going to do now is I got to set this up and cut this here and weld this section here in place. So I'm going to overlap these panels like so, line them up. I cut a little section out here so I can line them up, and then I'm going to line up this section here with this piece here, and then I'm going to mark it. I might even tack it in place yet, I don't know, and start cutting that piece out and working on getting this section here all welded up. Anyway, I'll go do that now. Well, that came out better than I thought it was going to. You can see nice B goes up there. And this rolled edge, same as like this here. Going across there. I take two of them, one lay one on top of the other. Lines up down there. Lines up there. Now I just gotta go do this piece here now. But no, that came out pretty good, didn't it? Well, ta-da! Didn't want to bore you with showing me making that. It's just same thing as before. Putting pieces in and welding it all up because it looks good. And when you lay this over top of it, everything is lined up on top side there. That's the main thing. So now I can install this in the firewall. there you have one completed firewall ready to be welded in. You see where I ended the beads. Lots of room there now for the butt weld to the firewall, transmission tunnel. Well, there you have it. Firewall's completed. Time to move on to the rest of it now. Do the top, put the bracing on it. That'll be in the next one. It was a lot of work. About 2.5 days, I'd say, I got into it. Making that panel here. That was interesting. I'm glad it's done now. It's all ready now for the next stage. So there's a lot of work involved in it. I hope you learned something from it, or picked up something from it. Hopefully it was helpful. And until next time.